No. Don't look away. Don't look away. Take that in. Take that in. I know that's hard to look at, but take that in. That's reality. That's what's happening right now in America.
White people come fucking first. Understand that. Then the fucking minorities come. Okay?
Oh, the minorities.
Yeah.
Oh, the minority.
Yeah, the minority.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not a racist. You're
No, I'm not a fucking racist.
No, you're not a racist.
No, I'm not a fucking racist.
Look at your local news, your local social media. America's a fucking war zone right now. It look like a fucking third world country in the streets. Look at the streets of America.
Stop! Look out!
In cities from Minneapolis to New York, immigration enforcement by U.S. federal agents, particularly ICE agents and Border Patrol, have become the most controversial and emotionally charged issues in the country today. In early 2025, Minneapolis saw multiple violent encounters between federal immigration agents and civilians. In less than a month, federal agents shot U.S. citizens, including a registered nurse and another woman, during enforcement operations in the city, sparking widespread shot and protests. ICE and Border Patrol has escalated into one of the most continuous issues of our time. From routine raids to deadly confrontations on city streets, these interactions are shaping how people feel about safety, justice, and government authority. Minneapolis became a flashpoint after a wave of violent encounters between federal agents and civilians. On January 24th, patrol agents fatally shot a 37-year-old man, Alex Petrini.
Look, this is how it started. The immigration officer pushed a woman. The American who was recording got involved and they sprayed pepper in his eyes. But I want you to analyze this situation very well, because the immigration officers are saying they shot him 10 times because he pulled out a firearm. But look at this agent here who is in gray. He has nothing in his hands. Then he decides to get into the fight. There he goes and gets into the pile. And analyze carefully. Pay attention, because this is very important. Remember, he went in with nothing in his hands, and then they see him come out with a weapon in his hand. And after he leaves, they hear the first gunshot. And whose gun is this? The victim's, which Donald Trump's authorities are pointing to justify what happened. But with this, it's clear that the victim was already disarmed.
Slow down the footage of the ICE shooting that just took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You can see that the ICE agents very intentionally removed the man's weapon from his waistband and toss it off to the side. If I pause it right here, you can see that the ICE agent took the man's weapon and is throwing it to the side. After they shoot this unarmed man and he's lying there on the ground motionless. Look, you can see his feet on the ground right there. They continue to dump bullets into his motionless body.
What the fuck?
I counted 5 shots when he was laying there motionless. These undertrained dipshit ICE agents.
A U.S. citizen and an ICU nurse during a conventional immigration operation, sparking protests and national outrage. And this was not an isolated tragedy. It came days after another federal agent shot and killed Renee Good in Minneapolis during the same enforcement surge. Both incidents have raised urgent questions about the use of force, accountability, and the role of immigration enforcement in United States cities. Federal agents have defended use of force, saying agents acted in self-defense during challenging operations, but witnesses and videos and independent reporting have painted a more complex picture, with some footage shows civilians, including Petrini, immobilized and not poised an imminent threat when shots were fired. Outrage over deadly encounters have ignited protests in the cities from the initial incidents. From Minneapolis to Boston to Los Angeles to Washington, D.C., people are demanding accountability, independent investigations, and limits on federal enforcement powers. At the same time, debates in Congress over funding for ICE and relative agencies show deep political divides. Some lawmakers argue for expanded enforcement resources, while others push for reforms or funding limits. In Minneapolis alone, schools have entered lockdown. Businesses have closed out of fear. For many residents, immigrants, and non-immigrant alike, the presence of heavily armed agents without clear accountability has instilled fear and uncertainty about daily life, going back to work, picking up the children from school, or simply walking down the street. The killings and aggressive enforcement have sparked protests in Minneapolis, in Boston, New York, and other cities with crowds calling for justice, accountability, and democratic oversight over these federal government agencies. Meanwhile, political visions have seen deepen in Washington. But behind every headline are real people, families grieving loved ones, community members traumatized by violence, and residents struggling to reconcile enforcement with civil liberties. I just want to walk down the street without fear, says one Minneapolis resident. These experiences reflect fear, mistrust, and trauma among communities that feel caught between public safety and a federal power. Civil liberty organizations and community advocates argue that unchecked use of force undetermines trust in law enforcement and may violate fundamental rights.
George Floyd, we not gonna, what? We gonna tear this motherfucker up. That's what the fuck has to happen. Does anybody know why we're given the Second Amendment right? Google it. It's to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. That's true. The police are supposed to be on our side, fighting, pointing their guns at the fucking government. It's the facts. It's not for hunting. It's not for self-defense. It's to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. It don't get no worse than this. It don't.
Yep.
What the fuck?
I know that's right.
What the fuck? I have a little baby. I have a little fucking baby, man. And it's like I had to adopt her to protect her from this shit. You put a baby to my gun's head, you put a gun to my baby's head, I'm gonna hurt somebody. That's what they're doing to us. I'm not Hispanic, I'm black. I just be sitting home, smoking my weed, enjoying my money. But I'll die about this shit. I don't have no quality of life left. If you think you do, you're fucking nuts. We don't have no quality of life left. My wife is a documented, she has her work permit, it's legit. She won't go to work because they'll take her still. They're taking people that have documents. They're taking kids. They're doing all, you guys, this is where the world ends. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. They go snatch the president of Venezuela, but our fucking president is a sex offender. Why are we not the White House dragging him out? By his fucking collar!
For Renee Nicole Good, who was murdered. I'm so sad. I can't pretend like this is an insane. We have stormtroopers on the streets of America terrorizing people, not making people any safer. They're terrorizing people. They're killing innocent people. The rents are still high. There's no food. Food's expensive. People can't feed their kids. They can't send them to school. They can't get sick or they're going to end up dead because they can't afford health care. Something's really wrong here, and I don't know what the answer is, but the world's not better with this guy, this madman in office who just told the world that there is no international law concerning him. The only thing that concerns him is his morality. What can we do as people? We have to get out and stop it.
Northside, this the heart of the community, yo. Everybody screaming out, this ain't our fucking problem. This is our fucking problem. This is our fucking fight. They're coming in our neighborhoods, going door to door, and they're shooting, and they're killing us. What part don't anybody understand? It don't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, Hmong, Somali, they're killing us. ICE should not be in our neighborhood. It should not be in our community. ICE need to be dismantled, literally.
They are calling for independent reviews, legal accountability, and oversight to prevent future harm. Some national leaders are now debating whether to condition federal funding on meaningful reforms, while others assert enforcement is necessary for national security, illustrating how deeply divided the nation has become on immigration policy and enforcement practices.
Mexico! All day! Puro pinche México! Vale vergos pinches güeros su mierda! Fuck Trump! Fuck his wife! Fuck everybody! Mexico and Native Americans and blacks, we belong here! You're from Minneapolis? Man, I'm from Minnesota. There's no there. West Side! West Side! There's no Mexico's in this bitch!
How do you feel about the attacks on your state by federal officers?
Man, fuck them mother. Trump's bitches from Russia. Deport the bitch too. Thank you. That's how we got.
Nah, I'ma just be honest here. Like, the streets look like a fucking war zone in Minnesota. America's not supposed to look like this. Like, and when you look at the videos and you see the people on the front lines, it's regular fucking Americans out there getting beat on, battered, and bruised for the most part. I mean, yeah, they hopping out catching a couple of Mexicans here and there, but let's be honest here, those are Americans on those front lines. So, you know, Minnesota took to the streets to protest, and it's probably the biggest protest I ever seen in my life. In freezing weather. Like, it's really sad that people got to stand out in this freezing cold just to try to make a difference in America in 2026. You got ICE running in the schools to kidnap children. I mean, it's really getting out of hand, and the streets look like a fucking war zone. Like, this shit gotta end at some point. Like, I understand both sides, but in the same sentence, it gotta be a better way for this to be done. And it's gotta be policies over these guys so they just not running them up around the streets. Accountability and transparency matter. As Americans grapple with these events, the conversation about justice, enforcement, and human dignity continues to evolve. What do you think must change? Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, like, share, and subscribe. Holla at your boy.